Thermal plasma consists of electrons, ions, and neutral particles existing in a high-temperature environment. These elements undergo chaotic movements, causing molecules to dissociate and atoms to ionize. The plasma is concentrated in the inside of the jet, thereby delivering a narrow plasma jet with a very high energy density. The plasma arc is, therefore, constricted and arcs between the tungsten electrode and the workpiece. The shielding gases used here are exclusively inert gases, like argon, helium, or a mixture of these gases. The tungsten electrode has a negative polarity, and the workpiece a positive polarity, straight polarity. Compared to the TIG arc, the constricted plasma arc has a much lower divergence, i.e., much larger changes in arc length can be tolerated. Thus, for example, a 20% increase of arc cross-section corresponds to a 10 times larger length of the plasma arc than of the TIG arc. This explains the relative insensitivity of the plasma arc to surface unevenness. Weld pool form and heat. Affected zone. The ratio of penetration, weld depth, to weld width is twice as large for plasma arc welding as for TIG welding, making it possible to create narrow, deep weld profiles. Consequently, thicker sheets can be welded using square butt joints. The amount of filler metal and the heat input is much lower, so that distortion is less and heat-sensitive materials can be better controlled. The overhead shows a plasma arc weld with a wine glass type of weld penetration. The bundled and strongly constricted plasma stream is stabler than in the TIG process. The plasma arc does not tend to stick to edges and the weld pool. Plasma arc welding has several variants depending on the polarity graph of electrode, for example, positive polarity and variable polarity. Guide values for the positive polarity. Plasma arc welding are shown in this figure. Because of the excessive heat produced at the positively poled electrode, the current strength should be limited to a maximum of about 170 A. Currents of up to 300 A can be used for water-cooled copper electrodes. The variable polarity. Plasma arc, VPPA welding is mostly carried out in the welding position, PF, vertical upwards. Advantages of plasma arc welding over to TIG welding are shown in this figure. Thanks for watching.